Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. This is Fight Talk with the BMAs, the basic MMA analyst. I will be joined by my boy K West, who's always on. He's just jumping in now, but let's just get started. We had some fights. We had some UFC fights. UFC Vegas 76. Sean Strickland versus Magomedov. Great card, fun card. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know much of the people on the card, but there was a lot of high prospects on this card, and made the fight super exciting. So here we go. Slick is joining. Should have him on any second now. You there? Can you hear me? Audio is connecting for Slick, but as that connects, yeah, as I was saying, I wasn't familiar with many of the fighters. Slick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's clear.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, I got started. I was just saying that it was a good card, Strickland versus Magomedov. I was saying about the card, I wasn't really familiar with a lot of people on the card, but there was a lot of people, with like high prospects, like undefeated records, long win streaks, all that sort of stuff on this card.
Yeah.
Return of Kevin Lee, which we'll talk about as well. So it was a fun card, even though I wasn't familiar with a lot of people.
Same. You know, it was great for what it was though. Like I think that for me that there's some new people on my radar again. So I'm happy for these guys to get chances to show us what they got, you know.
Definitely. I mean, even that, like Sean Strickland, I mean, he's entertaining. He's entertaining. Like whether you agree with what he says or don't say all that sort of stuff, he says it how he says it. I genuinely believe it's him. I don't think it's an act. Man. Like Kobe's an act, right? I don't think it's that. I think it's genuinely him. He's openly admitted he was like a young neo-Nazi and whatnot. He goes, I'm still the same guy without the racism, right? He says the same shit. So, you know,
wow.
whether you agree with him or not, he says it how it is, and he is entertaining to watch. I mean, maybe from my perspective, I like listening to his interviews, and he just says some crazy shit. Put it that way. Fights like that too. He fights like that too. I mean, he's a fun. When I say fun, he obviously he's got skill set and whatnot, but he trains like he fights. Like he he says that the only way I train to fight is by fighting, and he just spars all freaking day. I mean, I don't know more than that, but
it appears that way.
Yeah,
it appears that he's just scrapping all day long with Chris Curtis.
Always sparring and whatnot, but I think that gives him, good like. He's learning to. If you're learning, keeping yourself sharp, the reflexes, the movement, your angles, your distance, all that sort of stuff. Of course, it's going to help you when you come to a real fight, and always putting yourself in that situation when you're fighting. I'm sure it helps with him mentally as well. Not that I know if saying that. So he obviously won the fight in the second round, right, by putting on the pressure. We'll get into that second, but he actually admitted when the eye poke happened that he said it himself, that there was the coward inside of him that we all have was trying to get him to quit when the eye poke was like, no, fuck you, and he carried on. Now that, I mean, listen, he talks how he talks and whatnot, but it just humanizes him so much and makes him even more relatable, regardless if you don't agree with all the shit he says. It makes him so relatable when he says something like that. You're like, oh, he has that. He, as the psycho that he is, has that too.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I appreciate him. Like I say, don't agree with everything. I appreciate him.
Wow. So he's come a long way, because you at one point just didn't care.
Yeah. I mean, like, I tell you what, that when he talks, he made himself more relatable when he said that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in regards to me, I was like, wow, like he's not just a psycho. He's got his. Everyone has his thoughts. He's very explicit with his thoughts. I don't think the UFC give a shit, and they don't do no censoring or canceling. They don't give a shit about that. So he expresses himself, and he's come a long way. I mean, look, I don't know his full story. He talks about it a little bit, but for him to say that he was an ex-neo-Nazi, to come where getting over the racism, pull it that way, right? That's a success story in itself. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, he's come a long way to get over that. Exactly. I don't get over that's not the right word, but as a human being, that's big. I mean, I respect that. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's crazy, dude, man. I'm trying to find the value.
He is a bit of an oddball, I'd say. What was my point about him? They're gonna find it hard to market him, you know. If you think about it, yeah, like if they try to get on ESPN and he's yapping about all these things, which a lot of us probably do agree with, right? But we wouldn't say it out there. And there's a lot of people who won't agree with it and who will rebuttal and criticize and judge and take stances and all of that. And I think he even to put the UFC in a difficult situation, if he ends up being, you know, number one contender fighting Izzy, it's gonna be tricky. And you think, that's a big ass piece of cake you got there. What's that for?
Celebrations, bro. No, I haven't eaten all
cow.
day. I had some eggs earlier on. I just figured we got to jump on this. I'll just have a little bit of cake while I do.
Go on, you cow.
I agree. I agree with you, but also I disagree in the sense that I guess there's bit and both because people love that entertainment shit. They love that you know, and but yes, with this woke culture and all the shit we got today, it could be a problem. You know, ESPN is Disney. You know, that's the mother company. You know, Dana does say they don't give a shit about that woke stuff. They let people express themselves, which I think I've seen. Like, it's a fight business, you know. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, come on, let's see how crazy this is. Like, you want to cancel him because he says some shit that you don't agree with, but you let him and another guy punch the shit out of each other in a cage, like they don't make, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting brain damage, almost like you can say killing them. They're putting their life on the line to entertain people and to sustain for themselves and their family. But you don't like what they say, so that's bad. I want to cancel them because I don't like what you said. But you can go and punch the shit out of someone. That's cool. Like, beat the shit out of someone.
It's strange standards, man. It's strange.
Yeah, and the UFC might use it in the sense that, you know, we want to see him get beat. Some people maybe want to get his ass kicked. So let's feed him to Izzy and let Izzy beat the shit out of him for us. Like, Kobe done it best. Like, play the heel, and people just want to see you get your ass kicked. I mean, I'm not saying he's a heel, but the UFC could play it in that sense. I don't know. They won't get political with it, I don't think, though.
Nah, that wouldn't be a wise move to go. But anyway, back to the fight though. He played this position well. Like, they hyped up the other dude, Magomed. Is it Magomed?
Yeah.
Magomed. They hyped him up a lot. Like, he's like some killer and he's got like some crazy win streak and all of that. And when it came to it, he just kind of like buckled under the pressure, it looked like, you know?
Round one, he came out strong and he put on that presence that the hype was all about. And then round two, he just faded and
faltered, man.
Strickland basically was amazing. I think the experience, composure, made him quit, man. It literally made him quit. The guy was done.
Like, thing is, Strickland's approach is pretty simple. You know, he throws a bunch of 1-2s and he comes at you.
It's kind of like, is he like Billy?
Yeah.
Rolling, I mean, his boxing is great. I think he's good at rolling with the punches and all that stuff. I mean, look, against Pereira, no one can take that left hook, so let's not knock him for that. But you know, he is quite thin because he was getting leg kicked, the teeps. You know, there was so many of them he was taking.
Body, that looked nasty. That looked nasty. But yeah, now have to hand it to him, man. I mean, he's out here calling for Izzy. That's what you were leading with, wasn't it? Calling for Izzy. Should he be there? Should he not? I mean, I think it'll be a lot of fun, regardless of what happens. You know, if Izzy most likely he's gonna wipe him, you know, and you know, on the lead up to that eventual wipe out, we'll have fun. We'll have a lot of fun.
Why not? I mean, look, I don't know the numbers, but if he drives eyeballs, then UFC is going to be like, hell yeah, let's put him in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Robert Whittaker's fighting Duplessis.
Yeah. That's happening.
So, I mean, I think they're gonna I mean, it looks like that one's going to be next. But I mean, why not put Strickland in there in the time being?
That's what I'm saying. Like that would be the argument that they have. Like he has now. I mean, he's put out there. He's defeated this guy who was possibly, maybe they were like opting him to walk through Strickland and become the next guy, and he didn't do it. And so yeah, let's see what happens in the next few weeks. But I think it does make sense to put Strickland on just because of his mouth.
100%. I mean,
stylistically, yeah.
I see Izzy piecing up that front leg. I see Izzy, just his distance. I mean, Izzy's just the best in the world, right?
Yeah.
Just boxing alone is not going to work for Izzy. I mean, Pereira done it because one, Pereira's world class
power,
high level, yeah, and great power. With Strickland, it's more about, yeah, he's got pressure.
Yeah,
he can put on the pace as he showed in this one, especially in round 2. But Izzy's smart enough to like control his strength, control his pressure in the sense that he won't. Yeah, but at a good steady pace where he won't gas out. And Izzy don't gas out anyway, but you know what I mean? He's so intelligent.
It would be funny. all the way into the TKO in the possible first round. It'd be very funny. Because
I mean, you know, Strickland is, I mean, he's got heart. I don't see that guy giving up. So he could go to 5 rounds. He could just take a beating for 5 rounds. But no, I mean, I don't see him getting absolutely outclassed. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see like an Anderson Silva, Forrest Griffin type thing happen. You know what I mean? I see, possibly going 5 rounds. Like,
possible. Yeah, it's definitely possible. But either way, I see Izzy beating him. And I just think, yeah, he has an argument for being next in line ahead of the winner between Whittaker and Duplessis. But either way, any of those fights that come through, it's gonna be like me, popcorn, and a little bit of rum.
Yeah, and definitely for the press conferences and all that tough stuff too. Like I said, I listened specifically to his post-fight and pre-fight interviews just because I wanted to hear the shit that he had to say.
I see. Yeah, so he brought you in.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe done the same. Kobe was annoying, but I'm like, I kind of want to listen to it. Yeah,
you can fight.
Fight.
Yeah, there you go. Like, I feel like there's a lot of fans out there that will not see that. They'll just be like, I don't like him for him, and they won't credit the fact that he's a good fighter. They're just so narrow-minded about that approach. But yeah, like, not really a likable character for a long time, Colby, in my eyes. Like, universally panned dude. But when you like break it all down, what he's there to do is fight, and man can do it. So,
definitely. I mean, I think to this day, people don't like Floyd Mayweather. They signed in to watch him lose, but they can never acknowledge he is probably one of the greatest boxers of all time. You know what I mean? Like, or, he's definitely up there, right? Regardless of it, but he is one of the best. He's a master at what he does. And, people want to, just because they wanted to see him lose, they might not even appreciate that. They just want to be like, nah, he's not. He's just defensive, or okay, that's a part of fighting. That's a part of boxing, whatever you want to call it. He's the greatest at what he does. But so yeah, I mean, people are always gonna just be there. But I mean, what happens next for Magomedov? I mean, there was a lot of hype behind him. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know much about him. Does that hype disappear, or does he just try to regain it again?
He's got to. I mean, they got to put him in another fight, and then go from there. And I never saw him in his previous fights. So I don't know who he has beaten, how he beat them, fashion. So I don't know what he's capable of. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. Give him another fight, see how he goes. But it was really weird that he just kind of just lost himself, in the second round. Gassed out, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Gassed out. Like, because if you see the strikes that he threw in the first round, it was like he was trying to get him out in that first round. Power, almost 100% with all the kicks, all the punches, teeps, and if you do that, imagine when you go on the pads and you smash it hard for 2 minutes, you're dead. And it feels like he done that, like he was trying to get Strickland out, like he was trying to make the statement that the hype was about.
Yeah.
And then someone like Strickland who can take the punishment, take the beating,
Yeah.
and be composed and come back with that kind of pace. You don't, it was a perfect. I guess you can say Strickland's the perfect opponent to kind of defeat that. Now maybe Magomedov is going to go back and look like maybe they're going to pace himself. Like, all right, you know what? Forget these the pressures of this first round finish business. No, let me just pace myself. Because there's hype there for a reason. So let's see if he can build himself back up. Maybe maybe another fight or two and build himself back up and see what happens.
Yeah, that's a good point. So maybe it was the bright lights and it got to it. So yeah, sure he'll be back.
Definitely, man. Well, the next fight, let's move on. I mean, I did want to talk about Kevin Lee, man, because he was on the prelim. Should we talk about Kevin Lee first?
Okay.
I was a little bit disappointed, but then also I got excited about who this other brother was, because again, another guy I've never heard of. But again, hype behind him, and the way he finished Kevin Lee was like, holy shit, who is this dude? But then Kevin Lee, a bit gutted, man. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan in the world, but I like him, and he's been up there with the top. You know what I mean? Like I remember fighting Edson Barbosa and Tony Ferguson and Charles Oliveira, and you're like, wow, he's up there on the top. He had one fight in Khabib's organization, came back here. I thought he was revitalized and everything, but this next brother, his name is Rinat. I can't pronounce that name, but Rinat, I'm gonna call him.
Fakhretdinov. Fakhretdinov. No.
You at least you took a crack at it. I mean, wow. Bro, that guillotine, that power guillotine was scary. And just to see Kevin Lee just drop when he was already down, but just to be out for that long, I was just like, I didn't see that happening.
I did. I could see Kevin Lee losing to this guy. Like, I didn't. I just saw his name and just knew that he was one of them bad brothers from the mountain.
One of them smash brothers. Yeah, I mean he was. Even the main dude, the Abu guy, they're one of them smash brothers from Dagestan, I think. So
I just saw that and I thought, well, Kevin Lee's last fight was against an aging Diego Sanchez. This guy is, he belongs to the elite Smash Brothers. Like, I didn't really have high hopes. I just didn't.
I didn't know what to expect, but I just thought, I don't know. I just thought he's going to revitalize, but maybe Kevin Lee's of the old generation, as bad as it said, because the sport evolves so much. These guys from Russia just come out of nowhere. And the sport evolves so much. Maybe Kevin Lee is with that group of people, the Tony Fergusons, the Edson Barbosas and whatnot, because he fought Charles Oliveira, but Charles Oliveira he went up, he's on another level now. Maybe that could be the thing for him, man. I don't know. I mean, this brother Rinat is 21 and 1, in on a 20 win streak, 25 win streak. I mean.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
It's mad. It's exciting. I'm gonna look out for this guy. I'm trying to say, like, that's the exciting thing about this card. There was a few people on here that you're like, I'm looking out for these brothers, man, because it's gonna be exciting.
Some new bods, man. See, I remember like when I used to play the games, some of these fighters that you don't hear about, you end up fighting them during the career mode, and then you find out about them, and then I might Google, who's this guy? But I don't play those games anymore. See, I don't get the roundup of these, new up and coming fighters. But it just means I need to watch the shows, the events more. So it's good. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And this is what exciting about these sort of cards where, I'm such a fan of the UFC and the fights they put on. I watch the whole card and I just get to know new fighters and whatnot. I mean, going back to the co-main event on the main one. So actually, wait, before we go into, what do you think's next for Kevin Lee? What do you think?
Ooh. What kind of he must have signed like about a 5 fight contract, right? So they're gonna give him a couple more fights, see what happens. And I think if he doesn't have like a good kill to death ratio, then it's probably gonna be cut, no?
I see that happening. And what does he do, man? You know, I'm trying to say, what does he do? Because he, you know, obviously he's striving to be champion and stuff. I just don't see that happening for him. As bad as it sounds, I just think that yeah, I just don't see that happening. So what does he?
What's the next steps for him?
Retirement. I don't know nothing about any of that sort of stuff because obviously he's got the heart to fight, the will to fight. But does he still put his body on the line for, you know, just normal fights and shit?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I know he's I don't know much about him either, but yeah, I'm sure there's an organization somewhere. You know, I really wouldn't think he should. I don't think he should go to bare knuckle boxing because his boxing is not tight. You know, uh, I don't know. You know what? I could see him in AEW.
Okay.
I could see him climbing turnbuckle.
Like wrestling, like
Yeah,
professional wrestling.
yeah, like yeah, pro wrestler.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, he you know, he's recently converted to or reverted back to Islam, and he's been talking about that a lot and how it's and just kind of feeling as a different human being and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the fight or whatnot, but I just wonder spiritually if he's thinking about that next steps in life rather than, you know, I don't know, man. I would love to see him go out on a win, if worst case, you know. So maybe give him a lower ranked opponent. I mean, this guy wasn't even ranked. Was he? Was he even ranked? This dude?
I don't think so.
I
You
don't
know,
think so.
Kevin Lee was looking a little thicker. Did you see? He
Mm.
didn't look as ripped as he normally does. He looked a bit more thick.
Well, this was at welterweight, right? He was normally at 155. Probably looked more ripped then. This was at welterweight.
Oh, I see. Okay. But
Maybe he
either
goes
way,
back down. Maybe he goes back down to lightweight then.
he didn't look as lean. Not, I mean, not that doesn't have to make any difference, but just observation, you know.
Yeah. I think it's because it was welterweight, maybe. But
That guy,
maybe
man.
maybe he goes back down to lightweight, and challenges someone there. I think there's a few fighters there. I mean, there is Tony Ferguson again. You know what I mean? I think they're on that same level. But because like with Tony, come on, man. I mean, I don't know, like if yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're on that same level again. And there's a few fighters at lightweight that he can give it a go. So maybe he goes back down again.
These guys, they need to eventually make a division or something like, you know, some kind of new division for the ones that are heading out. You know, give them work with some other like fringe fighters, like global fringe fighters that, you know, they still have at least a couple brain cells to knock about. Put them together and make some change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'll make a division, but I guess, you know, you could set up those fights, right? You could just set up those fights with them guys, right? And yeah, just let them fight, like let them fight them type of fighters. Like I said, I mean, the only name that keeps coming to mind right now, like this, go back and fight Tony Ferguson again. I mean, why not give that one a shot? Yeah. Tony Ferguson is on a bit of a drop. He just on this loss. Why not go back to lightweight? Try that out.
I mean, yeah, give him a shot. But I didn't have much hopes for him when I heard he was on his card. I was like,
I mean, he was on the prelims. I'm surprised he was on the prelims. I would have thought he would be co-main event at least or something.
I don't have hella faith for him anymore.
All right. Well, let's move on. I guess let's go to the co-main event, which was Damir. I'm not gonna pronounce that surname. Yeah, there you go.
Ismagulov.
All right, versus Grant.
Damir Ismagulov. Yeah, there you go.
Another great back and forth fight. Grant wins by decision. Again, I think even with Damir, there was a bit of hype behind him. He was exciting to watch. There was a lot of back and forth. No? Yeah, I mean, but Grant, if I remember correctly, was doing well with the grappling. I mean, if I remember, he kind of imposed the grappling. He had great timing with his shots and stuff like that, able to take the back. He wasn't able to get a choke or anything, but I think the first, was it all 3 rounds that he took his back and just got the back, the put the triangle in, the body triangle in, and just he didn't get the choke, but was able to kind of control him from the back.
Control, yeah. He did. He do a lot of control rounds. Yeah, and given how because the commentators were the one filling us in with the information of these fighters, because I don't really know them. So and they're talking about his experience and stuff, and I'm thinking, wow, like he should be the one dominating those positions, the Damir. But yeah, man, Dawson again, 20-1. Like, where's he been? Where have we not heard about this dude?
That's what I'm saying. Same here, man. I mean, they've obviously been there. I like I said, a lot of these guys were not familiar to me, but on the radar now for sure. Hit top.
Yeah,
I'm sure
go on.
rankings. I mean, Damir was 24-12. Sorry, 24-2.
24-3. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Now it's 3. I guess now 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess even like even with us, like the narrative maybe has turned into if you're fighting one of these Russian brothers or Dagestani or from Kazakhstan, they're gonna dominate in the wrestling and all that sort of stuff. But not all of them, right? I think Strickland said it himself. Like, just because your name's Magomedov doesn't mean you're all undefeated. Just a one guy. Like, you know what I mean? Not all of them. So you never know. There could be pressure on these guys that we don't even know. They're like, oh shit, I'm a Dagestani wrestler. My name is Magomedov. I gotta win. Like, like the Grace. Like, I don't know if there is pressure, but if your name was Gracie, then you're like, oh, shit, I need to be a jiu-jitsu black belt. Maybe there's a pressure. I don't know if there is, and I don't know if the family is pushing it. But how do we not know? Like, because these guys are so stern in their persona that how do we not know that they are internally like, ah, shit, man, they're gonna think I'm this world beater and whatnot. I got so much pressure on my shoulders, but they never show it. These guys don't show it. You know what I mean?
They don't show it. I mean, Crone Gracie definitely doesn't feel no pressure because he's still doing what he's doing.
He's still doing old school, man.
He's still doing what he's doing. He's just like, yeah, come on, come down. No, let me wrap you up. No, all right, well, we'll just wait here.
Stay here now, pull guard if I can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My God, that's jokes. But yeah, no, there is probably some pressure there. I guess the next in line who has Nurmagomedov name behind him is it Umar?
Umar, yeah. And
he's gonna fight Corey Sandhagen. Yeah.
Exciting fight, man.
That's a big jump.
Yeah. I mean, he's someone that's got hype behind him. It's difficult for him to get fights. Like, even with Islam, it was difficult for him to get fights, and he went straight to the title shot, almost, if that makes sense. So he's still going to fight those top 5 contenders, or at least top 10 more, to kind of get his name as solidified as one of the best lightweights. Same with Umar, right? But it's great that they get that opportunity to go straight. I mean, I don't know if it is, but just go straight to the top to show I am on this level. Let's go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just get it going. If no one wants to fight me all the way here, then let me just fight the dude at the top who wants to fight me. And then anyone else who wants to come get it after will come get it, whether he wins or loses. That's going to be exciting. I mean, again, that name's there. The pressure must be there, but he seems like a world beater anyway. He seems freaking awesome. So
capable. He looks very capable. I think, with all of that being said, with people like that, my God, I lost my train of thought. What an idiot. Anyway.
No, it's all good, man. All good. Let's go on to the next one real quick. Max Griffin versus Michael Morales. Michelle Morales, should I say. From Ecuador. How would you pronounce that? Michelle or Michael?
I think they called him Michael.
Okay.
It might be like, no, it wouldn't be Mikhail. No, it wouldn't. Yeah.
But again, two brothers I was not familiar with.
No, I didn't know these guys either.
But he's on a 15 win. Sorry, he's 15-0. And 11 by knockout. First in the 7 in the first round. I mean, he won this one by decision. But
yeah.
If I remember correctly, it was a good back and forth battle. Someone to keep an eye on, man. 15-0. I mean, like it's crazy how like a Shavkat Rakhmonov who's on a 15-16 win streak, and you're like, or Hamza, and you're like, oh my God, this guy's a world beater. It's gonna be exciting to just watch him, and like. But then you got someone like Morales here who's undefeated as well, and at 15-0, and you're like, the hype's just not as there. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the UFC marketing machine, or is there something else, you know what I mean? But that's exciting, man. 15-0, that's not easy to do. Like, and come into the UFC and whatnot and keep that win streak going. So someone to keep an eye on, man.
Absolutely. I again, like another one of these cards that I think I just got to spend more time looking at these guys, like on the prelims. I think that's what I got to do, because they clearly been here all this time, and I've been slacking. So
And
they
not
need to get
just
back
you,
in
man.
here.
Me as well. Like I
He been
openly
slacking.
I openly admitted that I was definitely gonna watch the whole card, but
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with the fights. But this is the fun thing about being a fan of the sport and of the
Yeah.
UFC. I'm happy to sit there and watch it. Whereas, you'll never catch me watching some random other sports with random people I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'll use boxing as an example. You'll never catch me watching prelims of a boxing card because I'm not familiar with the fighters, and I might not be the biggest boxing fan, but because I'm such a fan, I would sit here and watch these fights. I might not pay attention to every single one in detail, but I'm watching them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you on that one. Yeah, we got homework to do when we can do it, I guess.
Definitely, man. Well, just quickly running through the rest of the card. There was a women's flyweight bout. I should get you to pronounce the names, man, because I'm just gonna embarrass myself. You see that fight?
Lipsky. Yeah, I did actually. I did see that. I didn't watch as much as I wanted to, but from what I did see, like the hype was all on Lipsky, right? Because she's like isn't she called like she got some sick name? Was it her title name is like Queen of Violence? I was like, yeah, I'm sold. I'm gonna watch this fight, and then I ended up getting sidetracked. But it was quite technical, a technical fight. But I thought that she was gonna smash her this way that they built her up.
I guess it was a good, like, I wouldn't say fast pace, but more of a technical pace back and forth fight with that one.
It was. So yeah, I thought that that was not necessarily a statement fight, but it showed that she got hands, man, and she got skills. So let's see what she does against some harder opposition.
After that was a lightweight fight, Ishmael Bonfim versus Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit won by submission. I'm trying to remember the submission. Do you remember which one it was? Why have I gone blank again?
I think it was I remember him whatever it was, but not what happened. Not even how it got to.
I was gonna say it's crazy, and maybe it's not just me, but like this, like I watched the fight, but I can't remember some of them. Unless it like the main fight, I remember clearly. The elite fight was the prelims. I remember that clearly. But there's certain fights that happen to you, you're like, wait, what happened again?
It's one of those ones.
And I guess it's like the brain. I don't know, like my brain capacity being like, well, listen, we only got this much storage space. So just the ones you're so interested in, save those. The other ones, just you have to go back and watch them.
So.
Anyway,
like the main one I remembered was Bruno Ferreira getting knocked out. That was nice.
Oh yes, yeah. But he oh yes, because he caught the kick and he threw. I mean, that was a big knockout. Yeah, caught the kick and just straight, and you just see him bounce his head bounce off the canvas.
He made him eat.
That was a good knockout. That was a fun knockout. I mean, the only other fight, I mean, I saw the prelims, but the other fight that was a great fight, which was fight of the night, which was on the prelim card, it was Guram, I'm not pronouncing that name, but versus Elvis Benner.
Oh yeah, that was a good fight too.
And you see that, and his whole hair his hair was white, but
it was like Two-Face.
It turned Two-Face at one point and then red at the whole time.
Yeah, that Two-Face, man.
I mean, that was a great back and forth pace fight, but the fact that Elvis put
Brenner
kept his composure up and then put the pace on right at the end. It was a short, I think, like left hook on the neck that just kind of took him out.
Yeah, and he staggered him and just finished it. That was a really great fight.
Definitely great fight of the night, man. Really exciting. But yeah, that Two-Face looked badass. The
Yeah.
Two-Face is badass, man.
Yeah, like I showed my friend the fight, and he was like, "Oh, what? So he dyed his hair like that?" I'm like, "No, that's blood." And he was like,
That's
"No."
black.
It
Crazy.
literally was like Two-Face. Yeah, that was a really good fight. Like you know, he was underneath it. Like he was done
I
at
thought it
one
was
point.
too. I thought he was
He was
done
done at
too.
one point. He was done at one point. Like the heart of that man to come back and to compose himself, as you said, and to actually do. Oh damn. To finish the fight in that fashion was special.
Definitely, definitely. I think again, it just shows great heart. I mean, it's almost what like Strickland did, almost in that sense, but just keeping that composure and coming back strong. I mean, just real quick, the knockout of the night or the performance of the night we talked about. We didn't even say the guy's name, man. Do you want to give the guy some shout out of his actual name? We just said the Bruno who got knocked out, but we didn't give the guy who knocked him out his credit.
Goram. Oh man, Kotat
No, no,
Kotatladze.
I'm talking about the knockout of Bruno Ferreira.
Ferreira.
The one we spoke about, the knockout of the night.
The one where he ate it.
We just spoke of.
Ah, right, him. Oh my God. Oh, this name. Damn.
You know what? You notice, bro. Notice I didn't even try. That's why I'm waiting for you.
Oh, damn. Wait. Nurse, Sultan. Nurse Sultan Rizibov.
There you go. There
That
you go.
sounds like edible.
Yeah. Well, he's
No,
from
illegible. Yeah. Yeah.
Uzbekistan, and that was a
Don't
great
laugh
knock.
at me, you punk. Sorry, my friend here. Just laugh at me.
Right. We didn't say his name, so I figured we should give him a shout out to his name. Awesome, man. I mean, look, real quick, next week is a big one. I'm gonna try and watch it. I'm gonna be in Poland, so I'm not gonna be able to watch it live. Oh, I'll try and watch it from out there for sure. But we got,
Poland, Shema.
yeah. So yeah. Yakshamash means hello, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Shema.
keep that in mind. But anyway,
Play that round.
big fight, bro. Alexander Volkanovski come versus Yoel Rodriguez for the featherweight title bout. Amazing fight. Two guys at top of their league, pound for pound, best in the world. Alexander Volkanovski, coming off that loss, but it was a great fight. It's hard when you say loss, you don't think bad of it because it was such a great fight with Islam Makhachev. But great fight. You got Brendan Moreno fighting Alexandra Pantoja. And they fought before in the Ultimate Fighter, and they got some history there. So that's
who won again? Pantoja won. Who Brandon?
what's that? Sorry?
In the previous fight, who won that one? Do you remember?
I think it was Pantoja. He won the Ultimate Fighter, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was in the final. We got Robert Whittaker fighting Duplessis, which we spoke about earlier. So that's happening. So maybe after next week, we're gonna know what happens with that division. You got Jalil Turner versus Dan Hooker. Oh, sorry, Grand Count.
No, I was gonna say, you reckon Izzy will be in attendance? Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. Where's this card taking place? Las Vegas. Yeah, possibly. You never know. Then you got Bo Nickel versus Terry Score. Bo Nickel's got a lot of hype around his wrestling. Bloody Robbie Lawler is in. Sorry, man. Robbie Lawler is on this card fighting Nico Price. I mean, that's a good fight, and Robbie Lawler's freaking beast, still doing it, man. But I mean, crazy.
I don't know, man. The opposition, it looks stacked for Robbie, man. But anyway,
I mean, it's on the prelims. I mean, I don't know if that says anything, but but Robbie Lawler's always down for the fight, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, naturally.
But great fight. I will watch it out of Poland. I definitely will do. I just gotta, in regards to us doing the fight talk, let's just stay in communication. I get back to London on Monday. Maybe we'll do it on Tuesday or something, depending on timing and whatnot. But we'll figure that one out. Just because next week I'm heading out. But great card anyway. That's a fucking can't wait.
Yeah, no, that was a really good card. I'm happy that I was interested because I was like, the small card, it'll be fine. And then I heard a couple of people, and I'm thinking, you know what? Stay in the game.
That's it. What else? Any other news out there that you've heard? Any other fight news or anything? Roy Jones had a metaverse fight. Did you hear about that? Again, it was with some bodybuilder dude. Apparently, didn't. I mean, Roy Jones is a legend. It doesn't matter, like whatever he could do, whatever he wants. But apparently, it wasn't a big hit. But he fought this bodybuilder dude, and I think he just took him out in round 6 or whatnot. Regardless, the thing is about some of these gimmick fights, yeah, people really think someone like Roy Jones, like you really think you know, just because you're a big bodybuilder, you might have a chance to take him, like. It's if you was an MMA fighter or boxer who'd been training for so long, maybe you got a chance against one of these old legends. But if you're just a bodybuilder and maybe you're like, oh, I'm gonna fight him, so I'll do a 6-week training camp, boxercise class or whatever. Come on, man. Roy Jones, like one of the best distant management lead left hook, freaking dudes ever, man. Just amazing. I don't know, but anyway, I didn't watch it, to be honest with you, but that's something that came up.
Okay. I saw a piece of it, but I didn't really look much into it, to be honest. I saw how he's fighting, then I see up close the metaverse. Oh, no. So
it looked a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw it, I saw a quick little replay and I was like, oh, is this animation? No, oh no, it's really them, but it's in the metaverse. I'm like, all right, this looks kind of off, but I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be a hit. They'll experiment with it. I swear I heard the UFC talk about something like that as well, doing a fight or two in the metaverse, but I don't know if that happened.
Imagine if the first fight in the metaverse for UFC fighters would be Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Imagine.
Why
imagine
not?
That would catch.
Add more to the gimmick. Why not?
Imagine after all of that, and then like they step into a booth and it's just like they do all this training and everything.
Oh, you mean control? Well, no,
yeah.
They might as well just play Street Fighter or something and see who wins that.
That would be funny. Have you heard Junior Dos Santos versus Fabricio Verdum are booked for Game Bread Bare Knuckle MMA 5 event?
Oh, that's a big one. That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dos Santos is 30. Verdum, probably around the same age. So, yeah, and then Renan Barão is fighting. Sean Soriano, yeah. Brandon Jenkins, Anthony Nakuyani, don't know him. A couple other people, but yeah, that's happening.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
Bare Knuckle, Game Bread Bare Knuckle 5. It's not seems to be a date. Yeah, what you got?
That's all I got, man. I don't have anything else interesting in the fight.
Cejudo pulled out the fight with Marlon Vera. Yeah.
He pulled out?
Cejudo.
Oh, really? What injury? Oh, injury or something or what?
Yeah, like a shoulder injury, but they kind of made it sound weird how it all turned out. Like it's I don't know, people are criticizing his answer or something that happened like leading up to him announcing he's out. I don't know what's happened exactly, but he's out.
Basic. All right. Well, it is what it is, I guess. I'm not gonna lie. I'll watch him fight, but I'm not that excited that he came back and whatnot. Not crazy excited. I mean, the cringiness is there, but I don't think the cringe, in my opinion, I don't think the cringe brings eyeballs. Like Kobe Covington is not cringy. There's something else about him, but I think he brings more eyeballs. The cringiness makes me not want to see you or hear you. You know, when even with what's his name, Gracie, what's his name, the Gracie who just fought, Con Gracie, that's it. Do you remember in the last fight he was like they were signing posters and then Cejudo said something and he was just like, I'm gonna get out of it. I'll come back later. Like that's how I feel with Cejudo. I don't like to see him. I would like to see him fight, but I wouldn't like to see him talk because I don't think the cringiness brings eyeballs, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I reckon I would have been more excited to see him fight if he was just a fighter because of his accomplishment and his what he's achieved and whatnot and his accolades and whatnot. But to try and add the cringe to bring eyeballs, in my opinion, that I was like, I actually want to see you less because of the cringe. But anyway, regardless, it's a shame that he pulled out. I thought he was going to fight Mawab actually, but that one didn't happen.
Yeah, I thought so. That sounded like a good idea.
Well, maybe Cheeto should fight Mawab because that's a good fight there.
That would make sense. That would make sense. I think.
Well, no, well, Cheeto. No, wait, Cheeto lost against Corey Sandhagen, though, right?
He did.
And that was a big. So you know what? I would say
Go on.
because Morab's up there, so Morab will fight. He's not fighting for the title because of his boy, but he should fight. Like
Yeah.
Morab, if Morab's not gonna fight for the title because of his boy, then he's the gatekeeper of trying to get that title shot. So I would say whoever wins that, I don't know what you do with Cheeto, man, at the moment. Who else is up there, man?
Who has fights?
At that division. Sean O'Malley's got the champion Aljo. You got
Yep.
Uma versus Corey Sandhagen. Then you got Cheeto. Someone should be there to fight Cheeto. I'm trying to think who else in that division is exciting. Or who's up there, should I say.
We need to come back, man. We need who's next?
Oh my god, he would have been awesome if he came back, man.
Beat. Who next? We need to get him to come back. Can't think. But
there we go. Henry Cejudo, Petryan, maybe. Nah, did Marlon fight? But have they fought?
Petryan and Oliveira.
Yeah.
I don't think so, you know.
I mean, it's there. The fight's there. Like maybe that
That's
one's
a
the
good
one
point.
made.
That's a good point.
I mean, Petryan is still number 5. Marlon Vera is number 6. So, I mean, that fight makes a bit of sense. You got Song Yadong. I know they had a controversy before. Maybe they could sort that one out. Not controversy. I guess Marlon wasn't happy about the decision.
Back talk. Yeah. Yeah. There's options there, man. You're always pretty good at calling out this division.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the names, to be honest with you. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I got the list here.
Still, even before the list, you already had it in mind who would make sense, and it does. It tends to. That's the division, man.
It's a good division, man. It's exciting. This one, lightweight, like all of these divisions are fun, man. Cool, man. I mean, that's all I got.
Yeah, I got nothing else. But between Petryan, Marlon Vera and Cejudo, well, I guess not Cejudo. Between those 3, anyway, they're gonna have to mix it up at some point.
Definitely. That will be fun.
You know, Merab worked. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, look. On that note, let's call it there. I think we had a good discussion about fights. Next week we will talk about the fights. I know I'm away, but this is a big card, so we will get together and talk about them. Maybe we might be a bit late releasing the podcast after the fights or whatnot, but we will be talking about it. So stay tuned for that. And let's call it there, man. Everyone, thank you for listening, subscribing, supporting, all the usual good stuff. And we will see you on the next week's episode next week. Peace.
Have a good week.
All right. Peace. Let me stop this.